All right. What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Venom Vlog, episode 714. And we are going to talk about the announcement that was officially made at CinemaCon. Sony had a panel there, and they showed off some footage of Into the Spider-Verse 2, or that's coming out. I think got pushed back to next year, 2023. So they showed some footage of that, and they showed apparently some footage of Craven. I don't know how much or what they showed because I think that movie hasn't been filming for that long. So apparently they showed some stuff there for that and Ghostbusters and other properties they own. And then right at the end, they showed a logo for Venom 3, saying that officially that Venom 3 is going to be in the makings and go into production soon. So that's what we're doing here today. I don't know how many people will show up because it's like 3 p.m. my time. So I think most people that follow me on the East Coast are probably at work, and people in other places are probably at work too. So maybe a bad time to host a live stream. But I just want to do it while I had the energy. I just got home from work about 30 minutes ago. And so I ate something really fast, walked Ace, and now and I'm going to have to walk him again. He's on medicine, so he has to go out a lot more often than before, at least until he gets through the prednisone. So I'll probably, won't stay on too long. But I wanted to go over these articles here from Deadline and Variety, and I'll put links to them down below. I don't have them up right now, but I'll try to have them up later when this renders and re-uploads later. So yeah, and I'm sorry, I always promise that I'm going to do more bells and whistles on the live streams. I just haven't had the time lately to buckle down and work on OBS and stuff, or look at StreamYard or whatever I was using before. I haven't messed with that stuff. I just haven't had time, and I wasn't expecting this announcement or anything. What's up, Sunfade? How's it going? Welcome in, man. Appreciate you being here. So yeah, I'm sorry I haven't dolled up the show yet. But we're getting there because with this announcement, officially the Venom Vlog will, come back. Hey, what's up, Andy? How's it going? The Venom Vlog will come back. We won't do it as often, but I feel like moving forward after we get through the last comic reviews and stuff, Venom Vlog will just be a live stream moving forward. That way I can just do it when I have the energy, and I can create, something in OBS or in StreamYard and just have images pop up like we did before. What's up, Mark Anthony? How's it going? So that's my plan. It's just Venom Vlog will be a live stream moving forward but you'll still get some pre-recorded stuff if I review comic books and stuff like that. I have no clue how they're going to make the El Muerto movie. This is the first time I've heard of the character and the guy that's playing him. What is El Muerto? I have no idea what that is. Let me see. El Muerto. Lands Marvel role as Spider-Man character El Muerto. I don't know who that is either. El Muerto Marvel? I'm Googling the character now. Oh, the wrestler from the Peter David run. Interesting. Who is he? Is he getting his own movie? Are they giving El Muerto his own movie? Because I would rather, who was that guy from the 90s? Black Tarantula? I'd much rather see a movie of him. He was really cool. Black Tarantula. I don't know anything about El Muerto, to be fair to him. But yeah, let me get the chat up on my screen here. So I do have the Deadline article we'll look at real quick, and the Variety article. And then we'll just chat. Like, I want to hear what you guys think the new movie could be about. We'll get into all that here in a minute. I can't believe the Venom 3 was already announced this early. I thought it would happen until end of 2022. No, I mean, they announced Venom 2 like 3 months after the first one came out, right? Or 4 or 5 months after. So, because that was such a big hit that they were like, yeah, we're going to get on this and start talking about it. But I imagine it always comes down to schedule. So if Tom has an opening in his schedule to start filming this at the end of 2022 or beginning of 2023 and release it in 2024, then they want to get on that. They want to jump on his schedule, while he's, young enough and energetic to want to do it and pumped to do it. Like you want to keep that train rolling, and he's clearly excited to play this character and has a lot of fun with it. And actually, we're going to talk a little bit at the end of this about Moon Knight, because Moon Knight is something I really want to talk about, but we'll save it for the end. And I'm going to compare it to Venom, and you'll see how. What's up? Yeah, what's up, VC? Yo, Siike, what's up? What's up? Do you guys think it'll premiere 2020? I'm going to guess Venom will be 2024. I'm going to guess. They'll release it the same year as part 2 of the Spider-Verse movie, most likely. Solo movie Sony announced at CinemaCon for El Muerto. Okay, so we have El Muerto, Craven the Hunter, and Madam Web. Now I'm really curious that they announced El Muerto after Morbius is doing so poorly. Now, I still haven't even seen Morbius. I had my surgery that week. They bumped it up. So I couldn't go that week. And then the week after, I ended up calling out sick for not feeling well and couldn't go. When I had my day off, I ended up having to work to make up for the day I called out sick. So I ended up just been working mostly these past like 2-3 weeks and have not even been to a theater. And not that I like going to movies anyway, but I just had not seen Morbius. So at this point, I think I'm just going to wait another 2 weeks for it to come out to rent or buy digitally, and then I'll just buy it and then review it then. Just doesn't make sense to go to the theater now, because if I go to the theater now, I want to see Doctor Strange, and so and considering my tolerance level of crowds, I think I don't want to put myself through that, 2 weekends apart. So I think I'll just stick to Doctor Strange for now, and Morbius I'll see when it goes to rental. So I'll get to your question. I saw some comments. Give me 1 second. It says Sony, this is from Deadline here. Sony teased a third Venom movie today. The first 2 films, which star Tom Hardy as the Marvel Spider-Man antihero, collectively grossed $1.4 billion at the global box office. That took, I think, 6 Resident Evil movies starring Milla Jovovich to make that kind of money. And they did it in 2 Venom movies. Now, granted, the first one was just blew up. The second one did over 500 million, which is still good, but just didn't keep on par with that first one. So whatever they do for this third one, I hope it's really big. And we'll get into what your ideas are here soon. But they only showed the briefest of teases, just the picture of the logo and a closing sizzle reel. No talent attached yet to be revealed, but obviously Tom Hardy is most likely going to return, but we'll have to see what other characters and actors and actresses return. But we'll have to wait on that one. So they just announced that it's in production in a way. Pre-production, obviously, they're probably writing the script right now. I hope Kelly Marcel is still working on it. But since the last one didn't do it strongly, there may be a chance where they'll ask if she wants to do it, or maybe they'll have someone do punch-ups. Like maybe she'll write the script and someone might come in and like just punch it up afterwards. Who knows? That's all executive thinking there. So anyway, so yeah, just a quick article from Deadline here saying, that the movie was technically announced. And same over on Variety, they talked about Ghostbusters getting another movie. It looks like another installment. And then Craven footage, I guess, being shown, Spider-Verse footage shown. And now I'm being told El Muerto is apparently in development along with Madam Web. So yeah, it's one way or another, I guess Sony's going to barrel through and try to get their universe out there. But they're picking very interesting characters. I got to say that. So kudos to them, I guess. We'll see if they works out. But so far with Morbius, it has not worked out. That movie is, I wouldn't call it a bomb, but it's certainly not generating any profit as far as I know. So yeah, do you think there'll be a Miles Morales live action movie at some point? So that's a great question. So I have a theory. I've been saying this for months now. My theory is that when Spider-Verse, the new animated movie comes out, I feel like it's going to end with because if you notice in the trailer, the teaser they showed, every time he goes into a different world or universe, the animation style changes, which is kind of like the first movie, where all the other characters were animated differently than Miles in his world. So they kind of stood out. There was like a good contrast there. So my theory is that this movie, part 1 of Spider-Verse, 2 or whatever, or Into the Multiverse, I can't remember what the new one's called, but it's going to end with Miles going through a portal. I feel, this is a theory of mine. I'm probably way wrong, but I'm just saying, I feel it's going to end with him going through a portal, and then he looks down at his hands and you see a real person's hands. And then the camera pans up and you see a real actor playing Miles. And then that way, maybe he goes into the Tom Holland universe, or he goes into the Andrew Garfield universe. Maybe he'll go, or Tobey Maguire universe. Maybe he'll go into someone's universe at the end that is a real person. They're not animated. And then you'll get to see what Miles looks like live action. And to me, that's the perfect way to introduce live action Miles, is by doing that. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, they already mentioned Miles exists in the MCU universe because his Uncle Aaron, was in the first Spider-Man movie, Homecoming, played by Donald Glover. So maybe. That would be cool, though. I would love Donald Glover to come back and play Prowler as a villain in a Spider-Man Tom Holland movie and introduce Miles that way too. But I think the Spider-Verse multiverse movie, that would be a great way to do it, because you can end the movie seeing a live action Miles and everyone go, oh crap, like, what the heck, what's going to happen in the next movie? I think that would be really fun. So I don't know. That's just my idea. Across the Spider-Verse. That's it. And the second one's called Beyond the Spider-Verse. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that. So that's my theory, is how you're going to see Miles live action. I'll say 2023 because after it gets delayed 4 times, it'll release in 2025. Oh, you're talking about Venom? Gotcha. Yeah, 2023 would probably be too quick. And I think they're at the phase now where they're not going to rush things out. I know Venom 2 came out in 2021, but that was 3 years after the first one. So I think they're going to go on a 3-year cycle. And plus, since they already have a lot of this Spider-Man stuff planned out, like Craven and Madam Web, like that's already in the works, they're going to try to get those going first. And then Venom will be, wedged in there somewhere. So I'm going to say probably late 2024 is probably when we'll see Venom 3, which I know sounds like forever away from now. But, who knows? Maybe they'll get on it. Maybe Tom Hardy's like, we need to film this right now. He's a producer on the movie, so he can basically kind of do that. He could be like, hey, give me that script and let's get going. So we'll see. VCX, if anything comes out of Morbius, I hope it convinces Sony that Sinister Six is not something they should place all their money on. Since I worked at Sony in 2007, at 2007 I freelanced and I was on the Sony lot, but then eventually I got a job at Sony, and honestly, like they've always had a hard-on for the Sinister Six. Ever since like Spider-Man 3, after that they wanted to go into Vulture and other characters. So, or at least it was in their head. Not everything that executives come up with make it into movies, obviously. But it was always something in their awareness bubble of like, we could really do a cool movie where Spider-Man has to fight 6 supervillains. Because think of all the toys we can make from that, So yeah, they kind of have a hard on for doing that, a version of Sinister Six. And but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it works out for them. Off topic, did you see the Batman? If so, what did you think? Actually, I posted my review of it. So you can check it out. But if you want my brief review, I liked it. I thought it was good. I didn't love it. Like I think a lot of people, it was like their favorite Batman movie. But for me, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really, really well done. I can't wait to see. I'm hoping the next movie is an Arkham Asylum movie where Riddler and Joker lure Batman into Arkham and trap him in there. And then you do the whole movie in Arkham, which would be cool. They obviously set up Thomas Elliot as Hush, because they said that there was a guy named Elliot, last name Elliot, who was a journalist who found out Martha Wayne was like, needed to go to an insane asylum for rehabilitation or something. And he was going to leak that info. And then Carmine Falcone killed him based on a conversation he had with Bruce Wayne. So now at the end of that movie, you have Thomas Elliot could be out there somewhere wanting revenge for his dad being killed by Carmine Falcone and Thomas Wayne. But what's cool about that is that they're dead. Thomas Wayne and Falcone are dead, but their kids are not. So it's a good way to do a Hush story where you bring Batman and Catwoman back together, and you have someone who wants to get revenge on both of them because of the sins of their parents. So that could be fun. I mean, so I would love to see a Hush story at some point in this, or do like a Arkham Asylum story. That would be really cool too. The Batman was awesome, faltered a bit at the end, but great overall. Yeah, there was you'll see in my review, there's some kind of critiques I had, but yeah, if you have time, check out my review. I try to keep it short. I think it's like 20, hopefully it's a 20-minute video. Who do you think will be the next symbiote antagonist? Isn't Eddie a fugitive at the end of Venom 2? Yeah, Eddie's on the run. He's on an island. He's kind of like staying away. And a piece of him is now missing in the multiverse. So I don't know. I mean, I still don't know what is going on with Patrick Mulligan. A lot of people say that he bonded to a symbiote or a part of Carnage or something, and he could be Toxin. And, so I guess there's that. I mean, I would rather not see him fight another symbiote. But that's really all his rogues gallery, is a lot of times is symbiotes. So either do a Venom and Spider-Man movie and just kind of wrap it up that way, and have him go up against Andrew Garfield or do something like that. Or do Null. Like, I know a lot of people out there. I'm not a big fan of Null, but I have people, or like Mark Anthony said, like he hopes that Null is saved for the Marvel universe. But I'm telling you right now, Gore the God Butcher, I don't think he's going to tie into symbiote lore at all. When you watch Thor: God and Thunder, he's probably going to be a two-dimensional villain like most Marvel villains are. So I don't see him setting up Null at all. But I could be wrong. I mean, I definitely could be wrong. But I don't know. I really don't know. At this point, I think most people want to see Tom Hardy interact with a Spider-Man, like for real, especially after the tease at the end of No Way Home. I think people are kind of jonesing for that fight, so they got to figure out how to get that in there too. I would say, because who knows how many more movies Tom would want to do after this. He may want to stop it after 3, So yeah, so maybe he could fight Spider Carnage. Maybe Tom Holland could get the symbiote. But since Venom ate the Carnage symbiote, like he did in the comics at the end of Let There Be Carnage. So technically, that little sliver that at the end of No Way Home, that could be Carnage. And if it bonds to Spider-Man, Tom Holland, that could make him Spider Carnage, and then you could get Spider Carnage versus Venom, and that could be fun too. So I don't know, you could do a lot of things. Honestly, I would hope they do anti-Venom too. I like anti-Venom. I don't know how they would do it, but that would be cool to see. If you're gonna do another Venom fight, another Venom, make it, I don't know, make it anti-Venom. Sony wants to sell a bunch of toys. I feel like they should do a streaming service and put out a Spider-Man series. I mean, honestly, at this point, I think, what was it, 2 years ago, we were talking about all these plans that they were going to do for Spider-Man cartoons that kind of spun out of the Spider-Verse movies. And I honestly don't know if any of those are still in development anymore. There was rumors about like Venom cartoon, another Spider-Man cartoon. Now they're doing one that turned out to be the high school one, the freshman year. So that's not what I thought that was going to be when I heard about it a while ago. Like I was like, I didn't get any details, but I didn't think it was going to be a freshman year MCU Spider-Man cartoon. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see where that show goes and how successful that is. But I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that. They're going to have to see how well these new Spider-Verse movies do, I think. Sunfade says, hey to Mark Anthony, I think it'd be cool if Gargan was MCU Venom after it attaches to Peter. That'd be cool. Yeah, that would definitely be cool. I like Matt Gargan. All right, sorry, what's going on? I'm having trouble. Here we go. It's some smudge got on the lens, I think, and then it's like it wouldn't zoom in on me or focus on me. Eddie on an island, time to electrocute himself and hope he survives. There you go. Yeah, that's right. Doesn't Disney own the TV rights for Spider-Man? Yeah, I guess they do now. So that's why that freshman thing. So that could have maybe that made all those deals go away. You're right, actually. I forgot about that. Maybe that could have been it. Oh, shoot, you might be right. Yeah, I think so. Hello. Thanks a lot, movie companies, for not allowing comic, highly accurate movies to be made. Well, yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I'm like of two minds. Like, I don't care too much for accuracy as long as the spirit of things are there. But the spirit of things means something different for everybody, right? So someone might say, well, the spirit of Venom to me is this. And I might go, oh, well, to me, it's this. And so I think that's where we all like have our difference of opinions from, is what we think sums up the character. But me, I try to just look at what's on the page done by most writers. But it's hard to do that because comics are so many different writers, and everything, so it changes. What's up, Brendan? How's it going, dude? Our boy's coming back for a trilogy. Yes. Yeah, I can't wait. One day get a nice Venom box set of all 3 movies, and hopefully No Way Home. Just throw it all in there. I hope we see an animated version of them in the Spider-Verse. That would be cool. I am annoyed that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse got delayed. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, Tevya. It's a bummer. It certainly is a bummer, for sure. But if they need more time to get the animation going, and take your time. Like I would rather you push it back and give us a solid movie as good as the first one, if not better, than rush it, and Sony does tend to rush things sometimes. So I'm okay with them taking a little bit of extra time. Into the Venomverse. Come on, I want to see Agent Venom. Yeah, they got to do a multiverse Venom stuff. Because then you can throw in Flash, you can throw in Spider-Man, Carnage, whatever. Like, yeah, that would be fun. Toxin. Man, I wish Venom producers told McFarlane for design. That would be cool. Well, I mean, I guess that would be Bruno. That would be Tom Hardy. He would be one of the Venom producers. But McFarlane has contracts with, certain divisions of people. So right now it's mainly DC, but he does stuff for like Witcher and Last Airbender. And I think he has a contract now with Disney for some mobile game, a thing called Mirrorverse. And as far as I know, that's the only Disney stuff he's doing. So yeah, it's a license by Hasbro, so I don't know if they'll ever be able to work that out. But that would be cool. They need to put another McFarlane cameo, like not use his name, because I think they used Michelini's name in one of the movies. But they should put McFarlane in there somewhere. I think they did, and maybe the first one. Sony announced a bunch of plans and not developed most of them. Is it 2014 again? Yeah, that's right. I know Sony and Warner Brothers, man, just like throwing darts. And they're not even throwing darts at a dartboard. They're throwing darts at a pool table. Don't even get me started on the cartoons. At least DC doesn't hold back in that department. Yeah, Warner's is killing it. Speaking of which, I just got a cartoon from Warner Brothers to review. So I will be reviewing Constantine and the House of Mystery, which is a short movie, I think like 30 minutes or so long. And then there's 4 other short films on here, or 3 other short films on here. Commandi, The Last Boy, The Losers, and The Blue Beetle. So expect some reviews of that next week when the movie comes out on May 3rd. So make sure you go pick that up. Morbius was so bad. I haven't even seen it, but that's what I heard. The whole movie was spoiled for me, so I'm like, I kind of don't need to rush out now. Did I hear something about a Venom cartoon? Hey, what's up, Zamael? I had heard there was a possibly something in the works at one point, but I don't know how far it got, and I never heard anything since then. So I'm going to assume it was either, I don't know. I heard it from someone I trusted and who'd give me information before, but I'm not really a scooper. So like I usually tell people, hey, don't tell me shit. I want to see it when it happens, because I don't want to be one of those people that like says, oh, well, my source said this, and then I'm like completely wrong all the time. So I was just like, yeah, no, I don't know. But I had heard it something early on, like back when I was living in California, and then I never heard anything since. So I don't know if that's happening, but that would be great. Hey, what's up, Tariq? How's it going? I have no actors have been announced yet, but do you think Stephen Graham will play Patrick Mulligan again? I mean, they set him up perfectly to have some part in another story. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I would think so. I would think probably so. And I think him and Tom are friends. So Bruno says Spectacular Spider-Man series is one of the best written series ever. It's comic nerds wrote the show. It should get an award. Spectacular was good. That was I really don't like Venom too much on Spectacular, but I like everything else about Spectacular. That's Greg Weisman, and he's amazing. And if you like his stuff, you should really be watching Young Justice right now on DC for HBO Max. He did the Rebels, Star Wars Rebels cartoon, which is one of my favorite cartoons for Star Wars. He did Gargoyles in the 90s. Like, he's insanely talented. So yeah, I agree. He's great. Zamael says Tevia, Morbius was disappointing to me as one of the few Morbius fans on Earth. It could have been Morbialicious, Morbiulous. Oh, like fabulous. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it, but I've heard even from diehard Morbius fans that they didn't like the movie that much. I'm at least happy Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse is going to feature 240 characters, and this does open the door of Spider-Girl Mayday Parker, which is also one of my favorites, Tevia. I hope we see that. That'd be awesome. Feels like Matt Gargan kind of just got thrown away after being teased in Homecoming. Yeah, I know, because I think I heard something in Morbius where Vulture shows up somewhere, and I'm like, well, wouldn't he show up with Scorpion? Like, weren't they talking to each other at the end? I thought they were going to build the Sinister Six. So I don't know. Sony doesn't know what they're doing. Morbius was a movie. That's my review. Yeah, technically it's a movie. There'll never be another Spider-Man cartoon like Spectacular. It's so good. It ended too soon. Wish it got one more season. Would you want to see an Agent Venom route or a Null route in movies? I mean, I don't like Null really at all, but I understand the spectacle of him would probably be really cool on screen. And honestly, I've been saying this. I feel like if you listen to Ari Arad, one of the producers of Venom, in interviews, if he ever gets his way, he keeps saying that there's an invasion coming. I was watching Let There Be Carnage again recently, and I was like, I don't see anything. He said in an interview there was supposed to be some setup. Like in the first movie, it was about, Riot wanted to take his ship out into space, get the other symbiotes, bring them back to Earth, and invade. And then apparently, Avi Arad said in an interview, yeah, the invasion thing's always there in the background, so Carnage does play into that. So I'm like, okay, so is Carnage? I thought he was going to have a connection to Null once he was born, or he was going to also try to leave Earth or send a signal to space or something. I kept wondering what was going to happen. I guess technically, if he infected Mulligan and with a child, I guess, and made him toxin, and at the end when Mulligan's eyes light up or whatever the hell they did, I guess he could be sending a signal to space saying like, hey, there's symbiotes here, and they're not like taking over. So I'm thinking the next movie will be called Venom: Planet of the Symbiotes, and if it's not called Venom vs. Spider-Man. Those are my two guesses right now. Planet of the Symbiotes is just such a good title, and it's been used for so many Venom comics that I feel like they're going to squeeze it into a movie at some point for a title. So that's my thought right now. Is it's going to be an invasion story, and it's gonna, because normally when you do trilogies, you got to tie it back to the first one. So you kind of want to know who sent Riot and Venom and the team to Earth. Maybe you'll figure that out in the next one, and that would be Null in some form. So I understand the spectacle, and story-wise, it kind of makes sense. So I guess I'd rather Null than Agent Venom, but I like Agent Venom so much more. But I just wouldn't want him done half-assed, I guess. So if they can figure out a cool way to do it, I would like to see that. It breaks my heart was never ever going to get another spectacular show. That's all right though. The fact that you had it is, just be proud you had it. Just be happy, because like some characters, like just don't get good interpretations ever, and you kind of wish they had a version of spectacular at one point, or something that good. Constantine House of Mystery. Yeah, I know. I can't wait. I watched a little bit of it last night, and I forgot. I can't remember what I did last night, so I'll have to rewatch it again and take notes. Morbius was without a doubt one of the movies of the year. One of the movies of the year, Sunfade said. That's so good. Spectacular Spider-Man should be protected at all costs. Well, go support their work, man. Check out Young Justice. It's fantastic. That'll change after 2100. Maybe that'll change, after 2099, yeah. Spectacular Spider-Man writers should be protected. Yes, they should be. Venom 3 announcement was expected, plus there's an obvious 4chan leak where Venom and Toxin are rivals that are later hunted by the government. Only use them to take down a big alien threat team up. Oh, I see. Oh, interesting. I mean, yeah, but it's 4chan leak. Like, so I put no faith into it. Because there's no way a script is even written yet for something like that to leak. So I don't know. I mean, and if they are, I would say they're probably, if they're writing a script, it must have started recently. And even then it's probably still in the planning stages. So yeah, I'm not going to believe any leaks at this point. No way. I always had this idea, Zamael says, that my mind of making a semi-Green Lantern Venom show based on Space Knight run. I love Green Lantern, so I'll watch that. I'd watch that. Constantine animated movie reminds me, I finally watched Death in the Family, and yeah, not as good as I want it to be. A lot shorter than I expected. Are you talking about the one that you choose the adventure? I have that one. I still haven't. Yeah, no, I watched it. I just got to rewatch it. Yeah, Death in the Family. That's the one where you can choose, right, what Jason does. 4chan leaks are not reliable source. I know, but they're fun to read. No, I know. I gotcha. No. It is, because sometimes it's funny when those leaks come out, because for me, I go, well, this is neat because it's someone. It's probably not true, but it's someone out there who's using their creativity, and they're probably coming up, like, that doesn't sound like a half bad idea, actually, them being on the run from the government and then having to team up, and the world having to rely on Venom to save it. I mean, that's a neat idea. It's pretty simple. It's like a nice, simple idea. So whoever did come up with that, leak, it's like they're putting their brain to the work, and I hope that, they realize that they probably could write their own story, and maybe hopefully that inspires them to go create their own stuff at some point, Tivia says, oh, speaking of which, I do a review of Death of Justice League. I haven't read that yet. So did that come out today? I'm way behind on my DC stuff. Like I've lost interest completely. So yeah, I'm way behind. But if it's out today, I'll buy it digitally and I'll read it and then I'll watch your review, Tevia. And if anyone here wants to go see that review, click on Tevia's name, subscribe. Awesome person. It was the movie of all time, Brendan says, yeah. I just noticed a Morbius cover behind Siike. Oh yeah, I'm a man of culture, yeah. So right up there. So when I recently I went to Walmart, I think it was. Yeah, it was Walmart. I was with my friend Nathan, and we went to Walmart and they had posters for $5, and they had that Morbius one, and I was blown away. I was like, a Morbius poster. So I bought it just to have it in the background, and then I forgot all about it until you just said something. Yeah, Sony, no, they don't know. Planning is for nerds, Sony doesn't need a plan. All right, Ace. My dog is like laying on my foot right now. Yeah. Oh, I heard about the Vulture and Morbius. It sounds weird, really weird. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but my friend tried to describe it to me, and I was like, please stop. Like, this hurts my brain. Georgie says, ditto. If the 4chan Sony plan leak is what they're going to do, or at least closely, yeah, not feeling it. Off-topic question: did you place ads in the stream? No, I don't think so. Are they popping up? I don't think so. I think I put to monetize it, so maybe, because I got an email from YouTube recently that they're changing certain things, so maybe if I say to monetize something, it automatically puts ads. So I'm sorry if that's the case. I didn't select by hand ads, not that I know of anyway. I set this up through my phone, so we're live streaming through my phone. So I didn't really see a lot of options. I just started the stream. Also, apparently, we're getting El Muerto movie, which is one of the characters I don't know anything about from Marvel. Yes, someone mentioned that earlier, and yeah, we looked him up. He's like a wrestler of some kind. That he was part of Peter David's Back in Black Spider-Man run. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that gets made. You know, because for me, like characters like that, I'm like that's that's a great character to put in another movie. Like have El Muerto in Kraven the Hunter, you know, or something like that. Like, you know, if Kraven's a name that you're gonna take to the bank and make something out of, put in a character in that movie that you can then do a spin-off of later. So that way you get your two characters in there, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't know anything about El Muerto. For all I know, it could be a good movie. I'm a big fan of Black Tarantula from the 90s. I would have rather seen a Black Tarantula movie, but that's only because I don't know anything about El Muerto. I've been supporting Injustice Season 4 since it began. I'm so happy it's doing everything I wanted and really hoping we get a Season 5. Yeah, Season 4, I didn't like the start of it a little bit, but it's picking up now, and I'm really digging it. I think I'm 2 episodes behind, so I just got to catch up, but I'm really liking it. El Muerto, that caught me completely off guard. Who the hell is this character? Yeah, he's like a luchador wrestler guy from early 2000s Spider-Man, I think. The Demon Huntsman, I don't really know, to tell the truth. He's one of these characters from Marvel that I barely know anything about. I think he's only been in a few books, as far as I know. Paraphrasing someone else earlier, definitely be one of the movies of the year. Yeah, El Muerto. Looked up El Muerto. This is a character with 2 comic appearances. How's he getting a movie? Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Is like, well, the fact that he has 2 comic appearances means there's not enough there to be like, for fans to go, well, this isn't anything like the comic books. You know, you can actually do something different with him and make him like his own thing. But again, I would rather see that done in another movie and build him up, you know, because I don't know if anyone's going to go like, Morbius is a more known name than El Muerto, and that movie, even with Jared Leto, didn't like bring money. So I don't know. Sometimes there's no science to it. You just got to guess. And that's certainly Sony's approach. So yeah, good question. I wonder about that as well. Heck, same thing go with Jackpot. Yeah, again, Jackpot's not very well known outside of comic fans, but I think they canceled that movie for now. Yeah, Stuff and Family's interactive movie watched because I love Jason. I warned me I'd be disappointed. I think I reviewed it. Like I know I wrote a review for it on Amazon because there's 2 versions of it. I rented the digital one where you can't choose your own adventure, and then I bought the physical one and where you can. And I was like, yeah, the digital one really sucked. So I put a bad taste in my mouth for the whole experience. This poster looks so badass, man. If I'm not mistaken, it's from the Vita Ayala run, which I also considered an untapped potential. You know what? I actually reviewed that Vita Ayala run live on a stream, and I got a copyright strike against me. The only images that I popped up, I had the physical comics in my hand, and I was showing like a page or 2 here and there as I was talking about it and giving out the digital codes. And right at the end of that stream, I stopped the stream, and within like 10 minutes, I got a copyright strike, and they basically told me to take it off my channel. And I was like, wow. So I ended up deleting that video. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, hey, let's tempt fate. So there it is. That's from Vita Ayala's run, which I kind of liked. I thought it was a good run. My review on it was pretty positive. So that's why I was like, what the hell? What did I do in this that was so bad? Death of Family anime movie that I thought was interesting. Yeah, it was fun, the interactive one. Elle is a Hispanic wrestler who in the comics is determined by someone to unmask. So that's why he fights Spider-Man. Plus there's more to the story, but I can't remember it properly. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Georgie. Yeah, I don't know anything about the guy. Though it's not my personal favorite Morbius run, that's either Kaminsky, Keating's, or 70s Fear issues. Yeah, you know, Morbius he's one of those guys I don't know too much about, outside of anytime he's crossed over with Spider-Man or the 90s stuff with Ghost Rider when he was, he wasn't officially a Midnight Sun right away. Yeah, he was. He started off a Midnight Sun. Then he kind of drifted. Then he came back and they did the Siege of Darkness thing. So that whole era of Morbius is pretty much my only real knowledge of the character outside of any cartoons and his origin. So any Morbius books outside of the 90s, I've never really sat and read. So I think I kind of like that Vita Ayala run because it was like, oh, I'm actually reading a book called Morbius again, which I haven't done in a long time. I actually own the 2 issues El Muerto appears in. Do you, Brendan? Oh, so Brendan's a El Muerto super fan. No, I'm kidding. But you have his, yeah, I mean, he's only in 2 books, right? So what's next from Sony? Alpha, Jackpot, Demogoblin? I mean, who knows, man? Wherever the darts land on the pool table. I'm still surprised we're still getting the Madam Web movie, to which I say, does she need her own movie? See, I think you could do a cool Madam Web movie. I think I mentioned this before, where you could, if you did something like you have the old lady be Madam Web throughout the whole movie, and then you have Dakota Johnson being like a Tomb Raider type character, and then comes across like an ancient statue of the spider, and and it leads, it's like a gateway to the multiverse, and and Madam Web is training her throughout the movie, and then at the end, Madam Web dies and or gets absorbed into the web of the multiverse, and now Dakota Johnson has to become the new younger Madam Web. I think that would be freaking awesome, actually, but I just don't know if they're going to go that route. But I would watch the shit out of that. I'm big on. I even wrote a story like that called The Last Time Traveler, and it's basically like a keeper of time travel, and then once time gets screwed up, the new character saves the day and then becomes the new timekeeper. So I mean, I'm a sucker for stories like that. So. Yeah, Zamael says to VCX, in a way, you could argue that it's a good thing since he had only 2 appearances and barely known. Writers are less constrained. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. So you can play more loose with them, which could be good. But then again, it's Sony. Exactly. So you can have all the leeway you want. And Sony's still going to hire who they hire. So we'll see. They should have made Crusher Hogan the villain. There you go for El Muerto. Gotcha. Oh, sorry, Tevye. I missed your comment there. Hobgoblin. Wait, Kingsley Hobgoblin is awesome. I want that movie. Yeah, I want that too. I like Kingsley. I would like a Philip Urich Green Goblin movie too. Oh yeah, Alpha, that character from Slot. Where did he go? I still want to write Slingers. I have a script for a Slingers movie. So if anyone at Sony wants to do something with the Slingers, basically it's a world where there is no Spider-Man, and so there was an old team of superheroes, and that are now old. They're all dead, and the original one of the original members, the Black Marvel, he gets their suits. Ricochet, whatever, Dusk, Prodigy, and Hornet, and he finds new people to wear the suit. But you find out that Black Marvel's the villain, so he's putting together a team of heroes, and then it's kind of like Mr. Glass from Unbreakable. He's causing all these things and so he's like, see, the world needs heroes, and he kind of dupes these 4 young kids to, college kids to take up the mantles, and so I have this whole script for the Slingers, and I would freaking love to do the Slingers. Like, they're some of my favorite weirdo characters that nobody else likes, but I love them. I love all 4 of them. Holy shit, I said the same thing. See, great minds think alike. There you go. Yeah, we're on the same page, Zamayo. Yeah, Alpha, that character from Slot's Run, where did he go? I don't know. Wherever Dan Slott Creations go after he stops writing the book, they go to like a little toy box in the corner that nobody uses for the most part. Across and Beyond Spider-Verse, I understood why they delayed it, but if Universal delayed Puss in Boots 2 and Mario for the same reason, I'd be okay with that too. Oh yeah, I mean, a lot of those people who are animating, they're working from home offices still. Some of them are going back to work in their offices, so some of that you just want to be patient with, for sure. So, and I heard Netflix just ended their animated stuff, so they're like not funding any more animated projects for a while, because they just took a big hit recently from all that subscriber loss. So, yeah. I heard Sony wanted a Latino character first, and when they got Bad Bunny, they let him pick any character he wanted. Oh, interesting. And so that's interesting too, because people forget movies are like, it's a business, right? So yeah, you bring in a guy, or you bring in someone like Bad Bunny to your office, and you're like, hey, we really want to work with you. And he's like, well, I'd love to work with you guys too. I'd love to be a superhero. Those are big right now. Those are, big movies. And they're like, okay, well, here's some Latino superheroes we have at our disposal. Here's a little bit about each one. Which one do you think? And he for all we know, he probably was like, you know what? This character's neat because there's not a lot about him. So fans online won't like crucify me for trying to play him. They'll just scratch their head wondering why this character's getting a movie. But otherwise, they won't like say, hey, that's not comic accurate, because they won't know. There's no one out there is an El Muerto fan to the point where they'll get upset if they change something about him in a movie. So I think it just gives you a lot of creative freedom. So if that's honestly how that movie came to be, that makes so much sense on a business level to me. 1,000% makes sense to me, Doesn't make it a great idea, but I can wrap my head around it a lot more. Damn, that's a shame because that live stream sounded fun. Yeah, I know. Someone that really loves huge wheels needs to play a certain Marvel character. Oh, thank you for bringing up Big Wheel. Yeah, I would, anytime, if I ever got to write, so my Slingers movie has Big Wheel in it, because I needed someone for them to take down, some villain, and so there's a scene where they have to chase down Big Wheel. So I actually have Big Wheel in my Slingers script, because I figured he'll never make it in a Spider-Man movie, so I'm like, we need to give Big Wheel a chance to shine in a Slingers movie. So yeah, I put Big Wheel in there. Yeah, definitely, Tevya. What's up, LOL? How's it going, dude? Leith, no, what's up? Yes, I made it. It's been so long, my friend. I'm at work, so I'm not sure if I can hang long, but good to see you. Yeah, no problem. I guess I wanted to get back to these articles, but there's not really much to say. I mean, the articles were short. They announced Venom 3. So now I just wanted to talk to you guys about what that means to you, what you're excited about, what you'd like to see in the movie. We kind of went through that too. And so in the next 10 minutes, I'll probably start wrapping this up. And I want to talk about something about Moon Knight at the end as well. So we'll get there. Let me just try. I'm trying to catch up on comments. But it's so good to see you, Leith. No, thank you, man. Tevia, speaking of Beyond, that reminds me that Spider-Man Beyond event finally ended, and man, oh man, it was so bad. So I was really liking the Beyond Spider-Man event for a while. It got to the halfway point, and I started getting really bored, and I really do not like the ending. So I ended up not overall liking Beyond, and I was going to review it on the channel, but because I was getting more and more negative on it, I was like, I don't want to do that. I just didn't want to come on here and complain. So at some point, I'm gonna keep doing the history of Ben Reilly episodes, because we did Ben and Kane, and I have one more to make for Ben and Kane, and then after that I'm going to do 2 for Ben, post him coming back to life as the Jackal. So we'll get there at some point, and I'll cover Beyond during that. But yeah, no, I didn't like the ending of that story. The 90s Morbius days was the closest he became to popular character. Yeah, I like, because he was on the cartoon, and I really liked him in Midnight Suns. He was fantastic. What's up, LOL? What's up, dude? Hey, Siike, have you watched Godzilla Mendoza's who made videos about Spider-Man? You or someone else recommended him before. I've seen a couple of his videos. I'm not a super big fan. Seems like a nice guy, knows his stuff, but I haven't really checked out his stuff that much. I'll be honest, I'm really weird. When the stuff I watch on YouTube, I'm all over the place. I watch a lot of comedy clips, like car crashes sometimes. That's not comedy, but idiots on the road kind of thing. Or I watch Impractical Jokers clips. I watch Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, that kind of stuff. MasterChef. I watch random, some political things, but not super. If they get too political, I turn them off. I'll sometimes peek in on bigger YouTubers channels who are talking about comics and movies. But then I usually get bored of that too. So I'm a little all over the place with YouTube lately. My focus isn't what it used to be. So I kind of just watch things to make me laugh mostly, because things have been so bad lately. So that's what I've been using YouTube for, is to cheer me up. So who's Madam Web going to fight in her movie? Time. She'll fight the what are they called? The Inquisitors? No, that's Star Wars. The Inheritors. She'll fight the Inheritors. Yeah. Tomb Raider type character. I always wanted that for Cheetah from DC. Yeah, I know. I can't. I don't want to talk about that, because that movie was so bad. That second Wonder Woman movie. An elder Karen that has same powers, I assume. Yes, exactly. Carnage spinoff movie. Yes, let's do it. E1610. What is up? What up? Sony CEO of Sex Cinematic Universe is expanding. They're all produced by Ned Leeds. Oh, there you go. There you go, Georgie. Hey, Seek, what's up, Tom? It's been a while. Welcome, dude. Hope you're doing well. A world where there's no Spider-Man. Sony, stop listening right there. Well, there's no Spider-Man in Venom, and there's no Spider-Man in Morbius. So, just saying. Ricochet's kind of Spider-Man-like. He's all bendy and stuff. Zamiel says, E1610, I can see that working actually, but only if Sony was willing to take risks. Perhaps they can make it R, but I think that's a huge, I don't think that's a huge necessity. Yeah, probably not. Spider-Man spinoff for Spike Lee's Night Watch. Yeah, are they going to do that? Because I thought I heard that rumor and nothing. I had a friend that was doing storyboards for a while for the Black Cat and Silver Sable movie. And, he was under contract. So I was just like, hey, are you working? He's like, yeah, I'm doing something for Sony. And I was like, and at that time, that was the only thing that was announced. So I was like, is it Black Cat and Silver Sable? And he's like, so there was actual work put into that movie to possibly come out, and then they scrapped it. So But I told my friend, I was like, hey, at least you got a job. At least you were working, man. Because yeah, that's. Hey, still there? Sorry. Oh my God, sorry. Is everyone still there? That was so weird. Like it just stopped, like just out of nowhere. All right. We back? I'm gonna have to catch up on comments here. I might have to skip a few. I'm sorry. Mark Anthony says, I hope Noel doesn't appear as a last-minute villain in Venom 3. Well, I mean, they're villains, and most of these movies, they don't pay a ton of attention to villains. I was surprised how much they paid attention to Carnage in the Carnage movie. But yeah. Boy, I do love me some Kane. Haven't seen him in a while. I know, and all these things, like, with all these Spider events going on, they don't use him anymore. And I'm like, come on, what's up with that? He didn't even show up in this Beyond storyline. I'm really, really blown away by that. All right, you're back? Okay, good. I'm back. Good. Yeah, I know. I'm doing good, just working on my GED and trying to get a job. I'm really excited for Morbius or Venom 3, and I already have some ideas. I love Morbius, and the CinemaCon Craven footage sounds awesome. I didn't see what that footage was, or read any details, but that's great. Well, I'm glad you liked Morbius too, so that's good. Because I was wondering, I was like, someone's got to come in and give the counterbalance to that, because there was a lot of, I haven't seen it yet, but there's been a lot of negativity towards it, so I'm glad you liked it. Ace, hey. Yeah, I know, buddy. I'm gonna get you. You got it. It's Forza. Yeah. Yep, we're good now. Yabe, you're back. Still here. Yep, you're back. Okay, good. Sony's Jackpot, a Mary Jane story. There you go. Siike, did you do something to stream? Anyone get banned? Nobody got banned. No. No. I think it's just my internet connection. I think. Hang on one second. Hey. Yeah, I get it. Sorry, my dog Ace wanted some water. So, good luck getting a seat for Morbius. Anyway, they're always packed. Morbius sweep. I'm sure Jackpot isn't happening more. I don't think so either. Like I said, Jackpot, squeeze her into the Madam Web movie. I just find a spot for her there. Speaking of Venom, my brother sent me this for my birthday. A small Venom figure. I have the black suit Spider-Man one, so now I can have these two, battle each other by standing still on my shelf or something. So yeah, but my brother got me this. My birthday's coming up in a couple weeks, and so he was like, dude, I got you this for your birthday. I was like, hey, thank you. And then also Moon Knight. I want to talk about Moon Knight real quick. Oh my God, my dog drooled all over my leg. Awesome. Yeah, so Moon Knight. Moon Knight is I don't know much about Moon Knight. I know a few appearances he made in the 90s, and some of the books I have, like Ghost Rider and Punisher and stuff. Some of the Spider-Man appearances he made over the years. But I've never full-on read a Moon Knight series. I think I've read 1 or 2 issues here and there, maybe, when I worked at a comic book store. But I've never dove into this character. I'm going to be honest, I freaking love the show. I love the show so much. But not because I think it's well written, because I don't think it's well written at times. I think some of it's actually really bad. But Oscar Isaac is so good as the character. And Ethan Hawke as the villain is so good as Arthur, whatever his name is, Harrow or something like that. They're so good. They are really, really, really good. And they're clearly setting up Bushman and Jake Lockley and Duchamp, his butler. They're setting up. They got Layla in there, who's I think is a made-up character, because I think it was like Marlene or something in the comics. Anyway, I didn't know much about this guy. I watched the show. I love the show. I've seen the first episode probably 7 times now, and each episode after I've seen about 4 times. I'm obsessed with it. I'm watching every little detail. I'm seeing all these references that they make to each other. And I ended up buying this book because these Marvelverse books are amazing. They're $10, and you get like 5 or 6 stories in here, including this one where they reprint his first appearance. And then also they reprint an early appearance where he fought Spider-Man and appearance where he fought Daredevil. And then they have this really great story in the back where he fights Kang the Conqueror, who was Rama Tut in the Marvel Universe, which is ancient Egyptian, which ties into Moon Knight. So I'm loving the character. So I love the show. So you may see some Moon Knight stuff from me coming up, because for my birthday I asked for an omnibus. So a friend of mine was like, dude, I want to get you something like really nice. And I go, well, I don't really want anything, you know, I'm as long as I stay up on bills and everything, like I'm fine. And I was like, but I go, I am really loving more Moon Knight. Like I really love Moon Knight. And so there's a volume 1 omnibus out there, and that he was like, hey, I can get this on at a pretty good deal, so I'll get it for you for your birthday. So if he actually does do that, because I was like, don't have to do that, whatever. And he's like, I'm gonna. We'll see if he does, but if he does, I'll give him a thank you in the video, and then I'll talk about it. So you'll probably see some Moon Knight stuff from me coming up. It reminds me a lot of Venom. I really like Khonshu, the god that's like standing over him. He calls him parasite. He calls him idiot. Like he's so like a Venom. It's like clearly, and that's the way the suit comes on, like a mummy suit, but it's like Venomish too. It's clearly them trying to do like a Venom thing, and I love it so much. I'm just so in love with it. So I don't know if you've seen Moon Knight yet, but I'm a big fan of it. Well, let me catch up on comments. Tom, you're a hidden gem. Finding someone who liked Morbius ain't easy with the expectation of the whole Rotten Tomatoes thing, which kind of surprised me. I mean, but that's good. I like when people come in and they're honest. Like I don't like shitting on people if they like something that I don't like. I will sometimes do a little pushback of when I say like, oh, well, here's why I didn't like it. Like, to give a reason why I'm not a fan of something. But I love when people are like, yeah, but I did, and here's why. So that's good. Yeah, Tom, you're awesome, man. You're a hidden gem for sure. Diamond in the rough. Speaking of which, that reminds me, one thing I'm hoping for is we really do get a sneak peek, Tevye says, for a battle of the Super Sons, because I'm worried with the Discovery merger, it may get messed up. Oh yes, yeah, the merger. I'll have to do a DC live stream at some point, because there's a lot of stuff going on over at DC for sure. But next week you're going to get some Constantine and short film reviews from me, so we'll start there. You're also going to see some super pets coming from my dog Ace. He's going to do some toy and book reviews. Yes, and I'm going to do a weird voice for him like I did with Echo. So yeah, I mean, that's more, I kind of make that content stuff so my nephew can have stuff to watch on my channel. But yeah, you'll see some of that stuff in the coming weeks. And then as we get more information about Venom 3 over the next few months, we'll talk more about that too. Everything up badly since DC is going through a major overhaul, for sure. Cool figure, like the retro aesthetic. I love those little retro figures. They are really cool. Did Disney XD stop making season after Spider-Man? Yes, Maximum Venom was the final season of that show. The next Disney Spider-Man show is freshman year, and that'll come out at some point. Sony presents Joe and Anthony Rosso's Scorpion, a Spider-Man spinoff. There you go. I love these titles. Zemael says, I love Moon Knight, read every single Moon Knight book, really underrated gem. That's great. I mean, I literally don't know much about the character at all. And why I think that's so exciting for me is because when I started the Venom vlog, I knew basics about Venom, but I learned so much about the character through all of you, your feedback, what you like about him, what I read in these stories that I've never read before. And I feel like now I'm at the level where I'm like, man, I really have a great knowledge and understanding of the character that still come down to opinion-based. Sorry, it's so bright back there, sorry. So anyway, yeah, so I'm just really, I'm excited that there's a new character like that I'm excited for, like Moon Knight is. So like, yeah, you'll see me doing some Moon Knight stuff for sure. I really love the character. And I really hope they put him in that Midnight Suns video game now, because then that will help me with content for the channel. I can play the game and talk about Moon Knight stuff with game footage being shown, which would be fun. So you don't always have to see my ugly face, my ugly aging face, which I'll be 40 in a couple weeks. Just crazy. With the exception of, oh yeah, sorry, read that already. Sony presents Joe. Oh yeah, Scorpion. I read that one too. All right, read a bit of Moon Knight. Idea of multiple personalities interesting, but the writers drop the ball more often than not. It's really tough to do stuff like DID. It's not an easy topic. There's a lot of, it's different. Everyone who experiences DID goes through something different. For the most part, there's similarities in stuff, but it's different, right? So like to write something like that, you almost feel like exaggerating it, because the real life version, I wouldn't say is not interesting, but it's not like as extravagant a lot of times. So yeah, I don't know. It's, I mean, I guess in some cases it is though, because there's people that have personalities that think they're children, and different ages and sexes, and it can get really take a lot to like understand. So for Moon Knight, yeah, I mean it's tough. They don't do a super great job at it on the show, as realistic as far as realism goes, but they do a good job for like movie version of it or TV version of it. And Oscar Isaac playing back and forth is like, he's so good at it. Like he changes his whole body language when he goes from Steven to Mark. It's fantastic. So I can't wait to see what he does if he gets to portray Jake, the third personality. So yeah, we'll see. I really like the horror aspects. The action was cool. It was really comic accurate and dark and sad, which is what the character's all about. And off-screen Matt Smith. Oh, really? Really? Oh, it's for Matt Smith? Of course Matt Smith. I'm sorry. I thought I said off-screen kill. Yeah, okay. Of course Matt Smith. Yeah. I'll have to see it. I mean, most of the movie was spoiled for me anyway. Maximum Venom was the one, if not the last Disney Marvel project. Yes, it was. Yep. Arthur Harrow. Thank you, Sunfade. Moon Knight teaser looked interesting. First trailer looked like another generic MCU thing, though. Not for me. I'll be honest. It's I don't know. I mean, I guess on some levels it is. Like I said, I don't find the show insanely well written, but the performance is fantastic between Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke. Like, them two carry the show. But I really like Khonshu. Khonshu, when he shows up, he's freaking awesome. He reminds me a lot of Venom. He shows up and he calls Steven an idiot. He's like, "Oh, great, the idiot's here." And he's like, "Shut up, parasite." I love it. Khonshu's so freaking awesome. I love him. If they make a toy of him, I think they're doing a Funko Pop. I gotta buy it. I'm madly in love with that design. He looks so cool. I really like Moon Knight. I just don't know what they did to I don't like what they did to Mr. Knight. Yes, yeah, and that's a new concept to me. So when I saw it in the show, I go, what is that? And then I looked up the comics and I was like, oh, okay. So it's like another version of Moon Knight where he's like in a suit and stuff. I'm like, okay. So I haven't read that comic yet. So, I mean, it's so wild to be at my age and have read comics my whole life and find blind spots, and then those characters get movies. Like Eternals. I never was a big Eternals fan. Watched the movie, still not an Eternals fan. But Moon Knight, I'm like, never been a big fan of his. Watched the show, and I loved the performance so much that it made me want to know more about the character. And it's so cool to still have that happen at my age. Like, it's because I'm kind of cynical and kind of jaded and kind of give up on a lot of things when it comes to reading and ingesting art or movies or whatever. And so it's kind of neat that I like feel rejuvenated on some level. So yeah, so I don't know the differences, but I've heard other people say that about Mr. Knight for me. Hopefully the Marvel cartoons get a reboot. Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. That are comic accurate. I mean, but what is comic accurate? Like, I mean, if you do a show and you just copy exactly what the comic does, I don't want to watch that show. Because why not? I'll just read the comics. And then why hire writers to even write the episodes? Like, and why hire directors and anyone to really animate it if you're just going to copy the comic? So what is comic accurate, I guess, is my point. Is a direct translation the only way to get accurate? Or is understanding who the characters are, but still adding fresh takes on them? Because Spider-Man, if you read a Spider-Man comic now, it is not comic accurate to Spider-Man when Stan Lee created him. It's not comic accurate. The characters have to change every 5 or 10 years so that they'll exist for another 5 or 10 years. So you have to change something about them. You have to bring something new to the table. You have to explore them in a new way. Talk about Peter's parents. I mean, you got to do other things to keep them around. Batman, Superman, been around 80 years. They're not comic accurate. Superman doesn't leap tall buildings anymore. He flies now. That was something that came from the radio show. So having him fly in a movie is not comic accurate. He should be leaping buildings. So again, what is comic accurate? And that's why I always like. That's always my pushback when people say like, oh, it needs to be more accurate. Like, I'm watching the Halo show. It's not great. It started off pretty good, but I'm losing interest in it, and it's because they are accurate about certain things, like of the lore, but it doesn't make for a very compelling story for the show in another medium. Like, it's like, okay, that works as background story for the game, but when you make it the forefront story in a show, it's not. I don't think it's working as well as I thought it could. So yeah, I don't know. So I always when I hear the word accurate, I'm like, but it's different for everyone. Everything's different. My version of accurate is different from someone else's. Moon Knight is a very interesting character. I'm loving him. Like, I'm so in love with Oscar Isaac as the character. Sony presents the Chameleon, a Craven spinoff. Yeah, there you go. Tevia says, yay, Super Pets. I know, I'm so excited for that movie. My birthday was yesterday, and the day before my birthday, I had the opportunity to have a conversation with Miles Morales, and no, I'm not joking. Dude, that's no kidding. Which Miles Morales? Like video game, movie? Like which one? And by the way, happy birthday, Zamael. Dang. Sorry I didn't know that earlier. Happy birthday. Similar to the Ultimate Universe and Earth 616, Mark says, collision in the comics. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. I could see that. I like some of the Ultimate comics. I do. But yeah, I hope they make quality shows like Avengers Earth's Mightiest. That was a good show. And most of the 2000 Marvel cartoons again. Fingers crossed for X-Men 97 and Spider-Man freshman year. I really hope X-Men 97 is good because that last season of that show was awful. When they changed the animation style and some of the voices, so bad. Speaking of spin-offs for Sony, I'm surprised Sony hasn't announced a Minesweeper movie since he's a Spider-Man villain who fought both Peter and his daughter Mayday. I mean, they'll get there. Give them time, Tevia. They'll get there. Mr. Knight is a concept originated from Ellis's Moon Knight run. I think you'd like this one, Siike. I like Warren Ellis's stuff, his writing at least. From what I hear, and I guess he's one of those people that got outed as a weirdo or something, like harassing someone or grooming some young woman or something. So that's terrible. If any of that, I don't know if that's exactly what I should preface by saying. I don't know what he was accused of. I just heard his name at some point being canceled, so I don't know anything about that. But I did like his Thunderbolts run. I do like his writing at times. So I think all of the Moon Knight stuff's on sale on Comixology right now. So I might pick a couple up while they're on sale. I just got to check my bank account and make sure I can do that first. Yeah, for sure. You'd be all for that movie, Tevia? Nice. 50-50 says, Georgie says to Mark. Yeah, the Halo show really disappointed me. I actually kind of like the first episode, and even the second one, I didn't hate it because I'm like, okay, this is the episode where they get all the exposition out of the way, and then they get back into like a better balance of action and elites and all that stuff. And I don't know, it's like they have the elements there. Like I feel like, okay, I know that plot from the game, and I understand this, and okay, that's an interesting twist. Like the elements I feel like are all there. I just feel like they just don't come together as well. Like I don't know. They're just not working those in that very, very good. Yeah, the Halo show is so bad it doesn't make any sense. I mean, part of it does, but it's like the stuff that makes sense doesn't. I don't care. You know, it's like, all right, great, they got that right, but who cares? Like, you know, that's kind of where I am with the show now. There is a lull, so sort of. That's the Sun King from Moon Knight. Oh, okay, Sun King. Especially for me as a casual Halo fan who only knows the games. Yeah, I mean, I know the games, but I've read some of the books, but I'm not a hardcore lore guy. But I have read some of the books, so I know some of the lore. And some of it's in the show. It's just not really done well. Sony presents Martin Scorsese's Uncle Ben, a Spider-Man 70s New Yorker crime drama. Dude, E1610, I love these titles, man. These are so good. I haven't seen Halo, but the little stuff I've heard makes me go, what? Yeah, it's. I would say skip it. Maybe when it's over, you can binge it and decide if you like it then. Comic accurate is the latter you discuss. Honestly, Marvel should do voice acting narration for their comics. They deserve more love since everything would be possible without them. I mean, yeah, sure. Comic accurate is the latter you discuss. Oh, I see. Okay. The thing I was saying earlier. I got you. Okay. And do official voice acting narration for their comics. That could be fun. I think they're trying to do stuff like that. Motion comics for a while. I think it just became too expensive and too time consuming. But yeah, I think stuff like that has to be made by fans who have the time to do it. But yeah, Zamael, good to know. Plus, happy birthday. Yes, everyone wish happy birthday to Zamael. Thanks. It seemed to be the Spider-Verse version of Miles. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. He's nice. I went to the Spider-Verse premiere and got to meet him and took a picture with him, and he was super nice to me. I told him, I was like, dude, I think this might be one of my favorite Spider-Man movies ever, like up next to Spider-Man 2, which I still feel that way. I rewatched Spider-Man 2, No Way Home, Spider-Verse, Venom 1, and Venom 2. I did like a 5-movie. Oh, and I think Spider-Man 3 I put in there also. Yeah, I did Spider-Man 2, 3, Spider-Verse, Venom 1, 2, and No Way Home. So it was like a 6-movie marathon I did over the course of like 3 days. I did 2 movies a night for 3 days. And I really had a good time watching a lot of this stuff. But Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite Spider-Man movie because it just has a lot of these really great moments in it that I feel are very Spider-Man-y moments. And it was also the first time I actually liked Dr. Octopus. Never liked that character at all. But Alfred Molina nailed that role so well. So I like that. That's when I fell in love with Doc Ock. I was like, wow, I actually like this character now. So that's my favorite Spider-Man movie. But Spider-Verse is a very close second because I feel like that movie has the soul of what makes Spider-Man and makes it a compelling story, but in another person's body. Like it's like the spirit of what Spidey stands for. And Miles Morales, someone who's from a different background, different culture, but still a kid and a good person at heart, who understands responsibility. Like that movie really, it made me a Miles fan, actually, because I liked Miles okay in the comics, but that movie made me love Miles. So yeah, I mean, I probably would never even have played the Miles Morales video game if I didn't become such a fan of him from that movie. So that's, yeah, and that's why I like other interpretations of characters. Superman, most of us wouldn't even like him probably today if he was still the version of him back in the early comics. But because of the radio show and they brought in like Jimmy Olsen and Perry White and Kryptonite and all these other things, it made Superman, So I like other mediums picking up the characters and doing something new with them. I think it's needed for the characters to survive and have a long life in the world of fiction and fantasy. So yeah, Miles, I love Miles, man. He's so awesome. Admittedly, I don't know much about Miles, so I may be saying nonsense though. He was wearing black and red suit, but with the hoodie, shorts, and sneakers. Nice. Okay, cool. Well, that's describes Miles. He wears that. Because I wear red sneakers because of Miles. I buy red sneakers now. Yeah, that's cool. Fanboy presents adaptations. What the fuck is the source material? Nice. That's the El Muerto movie. Gotta go. Hope everyone has a good day. You too, VCX, man. Have a good one. I'll take it over 40-60, which means not good. Not good, Mark says. Tevia says, personally, all I'm hoping for is Spider-Girl Mayday Parker animated movie. I just want to see her show up in Spider-Verse 2. That would be awesome. That would be a great way to introduce the character, and then you could put her in the Madam Web movie. That would be cool, too. I felt like that with more I think about it. Georgie says to Mark, I'll talk about the other movie, the rating. Gotcha. Drake, what's up? How about this for an originality? In my version of Spider-Man, the Shocker, female, by the way, is the villain in the pilot episode, and the other Marvel characters don't show up till season 2. There you go. Female Shocker, huh? That's interesting. Is she going to be okay with that name? Because when I hear that name now, I always laugh. The Shocker. I'm like, oh, man. All right, dude. That's how you got to shoot your electric shocking vibes. Ask the Birdman when it comes to Superman movies, specifically Sony films. Oh, there you go. Was that was Birdman? Was that Sony with Michael Keaton? Is that the Birdman you're talking about? Honestly, Halo and Picard season 2 are probably some of the worst shows of 2022 so far. I don't doubt. I haven't heard nothing good about Picard, but then again, I'm not a big Star Trek guy. Although I do like the concept of Star Trek and have appreciated it more as I get older. But I don't know enough about the show to watch it. I don't really care that much. To me, he's Professor X. So, hey, it's Doctor Strange, right? We'll go see Doctor Strange. I wonder if Sony will go the extra mile and put Morbius in the MCU. Midnight Suns. I think it would be a missed opportunity for them to have an OG Midnight Suns part of the team. I mean, sure. I mean, I don't know how much. I honestly don't know how much Marvel is going to play in that sandbox. I think the deal was they really wanted to keep Spider-Man for another couple movies, and Sony's like, look, we'll let you do it, but we're going to leech off those movies to set up our own universe. And I honestly think that's what it is. And so whenever they finally don't make contracts anymore together and separate, so I don't think they're going to plan for Morbius. And plus, why would Marvel want a character that didn't make money in one of their movies? I mean, that's the downside about taking a gamble on a Morbius movie, is that one, if you bring him back and make him a small part in the Midnight Suns movie, you're probably not going to get Jared Leto to do it. He's gonna be like, no, I want what I got paid for the last movie, and I want to be the main character. I don't know if he's like that. I mean, he might not be, but because I know he was a smaller part with Joker in the Suicide Squad, the David Ayer one. But sometimes you don't know. You don't know what these guys are willing to work. Business first, so they're gonna have a creative idea maybe, and then they're gonna do something business related, and then they're going to try to blend the two, and we'll either get a hot mess or we'll get something that is amazing, or we'll get something in the middle. You know, those are always the three options. Motion comics should be in the department of Marvel, at least for the older ones. The new ones be done years later. Yeah, that's true. That would be cool if they could focus on that. Just pick a run. Pick like, you know, the Spider-Man Stan Lee run, or the Fantastic Four Stan Lee and Jack Kirby run. Just do that. Be like, all right, we're going to release one of these a month, you know, and just do one issue a month or something, and have a team work on that. I think that'd be cool. But then after like 2 years, people would probably, it would lose its luster, and then they, you know, I don't know, whatever. I don't know. I should not come up with ideas a lot of times. Spider-Verse films on Miles, just like 1994 Spider-Man animated series did with Webhead and Eddie Brock. I love the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. So good. Introduced me to a lot of characters from Marvel. I'm glad Miles has become more than just another Spider-Man, going into his heritage and stuff. I really like Miles. I really do. He's a great character. A lot of potential there. I think he's a great character. A lot of potential there. I think a lot of the comic writers don't really write him very well, all the right ways, but he's also so different from Peter Parker in all the ways that make him feel like a worthy and legacy character for the role of Spider-Man. Yeah, just that movie's so good. And I liked older, fatter, out of shape Peter Parker. I loved that a lot, like so much. The Shocker Ends of the Earth official trailer #1, Cushion Studios. Georgie says, animated series and Deegs, my boy, John Kent, Superboy, back to normal. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you'll ever get that, unfortunately. I'm referring to the YouTube, the Birdman with Street Fighter characters, Blanca as, oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay, I didn't know. I don't know about that. Or if you mentioned it before, I don't remember. So, okay, you're talking about YouTuber. Gotcha. She still has the original Shocker costume, if you're curious, but she's also the daughter of Herman Schultz. And yes, I'll have Eddie become Venom by the end of season 1. Oh, there you go. Cool. True, Morbius was a risk that didn't pay off. Yeah, it didn't seem like it paid off. I mean, let me look up the box office for it right now. Morbius box office. Because it's been out for what, like a month almost? So wow. Oh, and here's Scott Mendelson. Scott Mendelson's like a hater. This guy he hates like anything that's not Marvel MCU. I mean, I think he's given a couple good DC reviews before, but for the most part, this guy, like, I only know him because of Dave Film Junkie's channel. I would have had no idea who Scott Mendelson was if it wasn't for Dave mentioning him sometimes. So Morbius isn't a failure, it says, especially considering it's a $75 million budget compared to Venom's $100 million budget and Carnage's $110 million budget. So I guess it's not considered that, but right now it seems like its box office is only at 156. They say the budget's somewhere between 75 to $80 million. So far, the box office is $156 million. Wow, so I know some people are like, yeah, but dude, that's doubling. That's doubling, its budget. But it's like, well, then it hasn't made any money still. So when you make a movie that costs $70 million or $75 million, then you have to times that by 2. Because they're probably going to also spend $75 million to promote the movie. And they sent Jared Leto around the world. They sent holograms up in Dubai. Like, they did all the same things they did with Venom. They promoted the hell out of this movie. At this point, Venom was already at, like, after a month, was already at like $300 million, 400 worldwide. So the fact that this is at 156 after nearly a month of being out, that's not good, like, at all. Where's Box Office Mojo at? I gotta see this. Here we go. So yeah, it's at $156 million worldwide. That's after a month, nearly a month of being out there. That is not good. 25 days, 3 weeks, not good. And Doctor Strange is coming out soon. So after this weekend, it will make no money, most likely, after this weekend. So okay, so you take $75 million they spent to make the money, then you double it, so $150 million. Worldwide, it made $156 million, but they don't keep all $156 million of that dollars. When a movie comes out opening weekend, it's 50-50 split. So opening weekend, it made $40 million, it says. That means they get to keep $20 million, and the theaters get to keep $20 million. And then every week after that, that percentage goes more towards the theaters. So the next weekend, studios only make like 40% of ticket sales. And then the weekend after that, 35%, it goes down and the theaters make more. So they haven't even broken even after a month on Morbius. And since there's no merchandise or anything out there to help make it more money from the merchandise side, I would consider this movie probably a flop. There's worse flops out there for sure, but for a Sony universe building movie for a shared cinematic universe, that's bad. That's like Mummy Tom Cruise bad. So yeah. That's not good for Morbius. Do you know what's funny about it though? I brought a friend to watch this movie with me. He was complaining a lot before watching it. When he finally watched it, I disliked it and he loved it. That happens sometimes. I think I thought that was going to happen with Resident Evil. I brought my friend Nathan to it and I was like, I'm kind of interested to see if this is as bad as the trailers look. But the trailers looked like medium to me. I was like, some things in here are good, some things aren't. A lot of fan service. And that made me worried. And then we see the movie and I go, wow, that was a big pile of shit. And then my friend goes, oh my God, that was a big pile of shit. And I go, damn it. Because for me, as someone who loves Resident Evil, I want to convert people to love Resident Evil. So when people tell me they love the Milla Jovovich movies, I hate those movies. But if they tell me they love it, I go, okay, well, the good thing about that is now you're a Resident Evil fan. And I don't care that you like the movies, whatever. Hopefully it leads you to go play the games because the games are much better. So I look at the movies as like a gateway drug to the games, or movies to be a gateway drug to the comics. Make your way to the original source at some point and really appreciate it. And that's why Moon Knight, I love the show, but I'm like, now I want to know the character. So after reading his origin and stuff, I'm like, and him fighting Werewolf by Night, I'm like, I want more. The Spider-Man story in here I read was a lot of fun. So I want to read the Daredevil one now and the one with Kang the Conqueror. And then I want to make some Moon Knight content. I love the character that much. And that's what these things should do. Like if you see a movie or a video game or cartoon, hear a song, whatever that mentions the character, that should be a gateway drug to the source material. And some instances, those are successes. And in some, like in Halo, I don't know if anyone watching that show wants to go play the game now because, and same with Morbius. I don't know how many people converted, but that's great that you converted a friend. Because now you have a friend who's a Morbius fan, and that's cool. Now you can talk about Morbius with somebody. So yeah, he defends the movie constantly. It's the weirdest of ironies. That's pretty funny. That's good though. Yeah, Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City was so bad. It is. It's the worst movie I think I've ever seen. One of them. It's got to be. Peter Parker got rid of the symbiote in the comics because he finds out it's alive in the comics. Animated series was turning him into a monster, making him more justified, understandable. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is you add new twists to things a lot, and when you reinterpret them. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think I ran about 20 minutes longer than I said I was gonna, and I'm gonna take Ace for another walk, and I need a nap. I'm starting to fade, and I'm all these lights in my eyes, and I'm getting a little sleepy. A little shut eye might help me out a lot. I've been working a lot lately, and I'm training. I didn't get that job promotion, so I've been trying to train in case another opportunity opens up. I don't want to be passed up again for a job promotion. So I'm putting in the work now, and I'm training at another store. So I actually work at my store and at another store. And I pretty much now only get like one day off a week, and it's Saturday, and I pretty much spend the whole day sleeping because I'm still fighting fatigue. I'm still healing from my surgery, and I might have another surgery coming up. So it's just like, it just never ends, man. So that's why content's been so lacking on this channel. My energy level is just not there. And that's why when I got home today, I'm like, wow, I have a burst of energy. I gotta use it for YouTube. I gotta do a video and talk about Venom. So thank you for letting me do that. I'm sorry I couldn't read every single comment. I'm so sorry at the end there. The words are kind of blurring together now, and I'm starting to fade. So I appreciate everything. Honestly, your patience. I think I only lost, I haven't done a lot of content in a while, and I think I only lost 6 subscribers. And I'm so grateful, that you guys are giving me a chance to slowly bounce back, after everything that I went through and happened. So just, I can't thank you enough. I really can't. I don't want this channel to die. There are times where I don't have the time to invest in it right now, but that will change. Like I said, it was nice to have that break and rest. Now that I'm so amped up on Moon Knight, I want to make Moon Knight content. Warner Brothers is still sending me DVDs, even though I asked to be taken off the list, but they're still kind enough to send me stuff, so I'll review that kind of stuff for you guys. My idea was to make a show coming up called Siike is a Construct, or the other title I came up with was called Siike Plus. It was an idea I have to do like a 1-hour live stream every week, like on Fridays. So I would pay for StreamYard again, and every Friday or something like that, or every Saturday since I'm off, maybe, I would do a live stream, and we would have 3 topics. So I could be like, all right, I'll do an intro, talk to you guys, because Dave the Film Junkie kind of does this. And I used to do this way back when. The original Seek and Destroy show was a lot like that, where I would just pick 2 topics, and I would do an intro, talk to people for a minute, do 2 topics, and then outro. So I may do that. We may do 3 topics, and that way I can talk about Moon Knight in one of the topics, Super Pets, something DC sends me, whatever it is, we could do it live and talk about it and just focus on those topics. And then when I do the thumbnail and prepare for the show, you'll know what those topics are before we start the show. So that way, if you're like, oh, I don't like any of those topics, I'll skip this one and maybe I'll join the next one. That way you kind of know what to expect. That's where I'm kind of leaning towards content moving forward, is just doing like 1 live stream a week with images, starting as soon as I can make it work. So yeah, take care. Thank you, Tom. You too. Zamiel, happy birthday again. Never thought about it, but the perspective definitely more belos. Definitely more belos. Here's hoping that Venom 3 is better than Let There Be Some Carnage. Yeah, we can hope, right? Good luck, man. Be safe. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Drake, Tevia, Mark, Tom, Zemiel, Georgie, everyone who popped in here. Andy, who was here earlier. All of you guys. E1610, all your funny titles and everything. It means a lot that you guys did this. So yeah, I gotta go. Good luck. Thank you. I gotta go too. Peace out. See you next time. See you in the future. Peace.